Hi, everybody. How you doing? I know you haven't heard from me for a few days, but just wanted to touch base with you. As you may know, my race in House District 30 is 80% reported with a 300-point difference. And my opponent has already declared her success, which is fine. I understand that she feels like she's in a position to do that. I do, however, want to talk to you about the fact that only 80% of the precincts in my district have been reported and some of the problems I'm seeing with voting. I also want to thank everyone who has supported me, who's voted for me. I just can't believe the amount of following that I've gained in such a short time during this candidacy, and just have been loving collaborating with people in the community and everything that has happened during this campaign. So I want to address the fact that 80% of the votes are in, and they've remained that way basically since the night of the election. And it's a significant difference than most of the other campaign races that I see in terms of the percentage of precincts that are reported. And when I called the clerk's office to get an answer about that, I was simply told, we're counting and we have till July 22nd to count. So I thought that was a strange response, but there was no explanation given as to why it was still 20% of the votes weren't counted in my district. So then yesterday, I got this letter in the mail. So I'm going to show this to you. Okay. So I just want to urge you, because it is so important to me that the people who have supported me understand that I feel like every vote is so important. Win, lose, or draw, I have been an advocate from day one of getting out and voting and supporting the process, right? Because I talked to a lot of people when I was on the campaign trail that said, I've lost faith in the Republican Party, I've lost faith in the government, I've lost faith in the elections office and their ability to count ballots and the whole drop-off mail-in ballot thing. And people just saying that they didn't even want to vote. And I have been an advocate throughout my entire campaign for please vote. I understand that there are flaws in the system, but unless we're fighting to change that system, unless we're continuing to vote and trying to get people in office who want to change that system, then there will be very little that we can do, okay? And surely the people who are in complete opposition of our values are out there voting. Trust me. So until we start to hold those people accountable that are responsible for getting people elected, that are responsible for counting votes and those types of things, nothing is going to change. And sitting on the sideline or opting out, right? That's a choice. And that's not a choice that's going to help us get where we need to go. So when I received this letter, right, my initial response was like, it was a joke. And then I looked at it more, and I looked at the return address, and I looked at everything that's going on. It's not a joke. So this letter came to me in the mail, and it says, we have not counted your vote because we couldn't identify you because there seemed to be a variation in your signature. I have lived in Adams County my entire life. I have voted in this county for I cannot tell you how long. I've lived at and voted from the same residence that I'm in for a decade, and I was in Thornton voting in right here even prior to that. Nothing has changed about my signature, my name, my identity, or anything else. But I have until July 8th to respond to this. They are saying if I want my vote to be counted. I found it particularly ironic that I would receive a letter saying that they couldn't verify my identity. In the letter, it says something here, like that they can't tell if I'm a real person or that type of thing. I thought that was quite interesting, considering that my name was actually on the ballot and that I've had to disclose my entire life to the Secretary of State and for that information to be made public, for my name to be on the ballot, but yet my ballot wasn't counted. So I just want to tell you, please, if you have received some information from the county saying anything about your vote, your identity, please look for letters like this, look for things in the mail, because every vote is important. Every vote for every position, not just my House district, but it is so important that we start to hold people accountable to count our votes and get these things done. Please look for this letter. If you've received something, please respond to it. I can imagine that it would be frustrating, as it was for me as a voter, and of course for me, particularly frustrating as a candidate, to receive this letter knowing how much we have gotten flack for wanting to identify people during voting, and then all of a sudden, this is coming about. So please respond in a timely fashion so that every vote is counted. It's just so important that we continue to address the breakdowns in the systems that are out there if we truly want to elect people who support our values. I had folks just every day this week telling me that they support me so much, and the fact that I brought a platform to them that was representative of things that were going on. If you want to continue to see folks come forward and run, you're putting yourself out there when you run for office. It's a big step to put yourself in the public eye, go under the scrutiny of everyone, and just do that. But it was something that I wanted to do, and I am going to continue to do in every aspect possible. But I feel like a sense of responsibility to notify you that these things, these letters, and these problems are going on with getting votes counted, because I want you to know that I personally value every vote and the fact that we have the capacity and the freedom to vote here. I know that there is flaws in the system. I know there has been tampering. I know there have been a lot of things that have gone on. But the only way to continue to make progress toward a better system is to try to get people in there who will do that. So please check your mail. Make sure that you haven't received this lovely letter like I did, telling me that my vote has not counted yet. And ask questions. Find out why it takes so long for votes to be counted, what's going on, and look into things and question those systems continually, whether it be asking the Republican Party to step up and question these things, asking for their support in it, whether it's questioning it yourself or just going out there and researching, but just making sure that you're working toward the solution. So today I was out with a lot of other Adams County Republicans and candidates and people in the county. We did a quick car parade over down Washington and up Federal Boulevard. Again, just displaying our flags, our support for all of the different Republican candidates, and of course celebrating Independence Day and really talking about the importance of that. And it was great to be out there in an effort to continue my promise to everybody to build our base. I will still be holding my online town halls. You will continue to see my media presence. And by, the end of this month, you're going to see a whole lot of other things coming forward from me. I want to continue to build the momentum going out of the primary, just toward keeping commitments, whether or not my name becomes the one that's going to be on that ballot or not. I made these commitments. I plan to continue to keep them. And I hope that people who are supporting me will continue to support me in that to that end. And I know that there's a lot of different ways that I can continue to do that, regardless of how this primary election finally draws itself out. Which according to the Adams County Clerk could be on July 22nd. But regardless of that or how that comes out, my commitments are not going to change. And certainly this is just the beginning of what I plan to do to continue to support our values, move us forward, and help create change in our community. So please continue to watch and follow. And again, if you receive this letter or any other problems with your ballot, please rectify it. Can't encourage you enough to do that. Happy 4th of July and Independence Day. I know right now we're going back and forth on whether we should be calling it one or the other. And for me, it's all about one thing, that we have an opportunity in this country and have had for a long time, an opportunity that has never been granted to most people around the world. Please don't take it for granted. Celebrate today, celebrate safely, and have fun with your families. I just want to say blessings and thank you to everyone and have a wonderful and safe holiday weekend. Thanks, guys. Take care.